Do you really know what that? I've heard a lot of people talking about triggers, saying I'm triggered, as using it kind of as an excuse to make other people behave a certain way around them that they wish, but not really doing anything to solve that problem within themselves. So being triggered means that there's a situation happening, or there's a person that is doing something around you that is somehow making you feel really stressed out and anxious, and maybe feeling like you need to run away. Your brain is feeling like it's going 1,000 miles a minute, and it's thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I say? How do I act? Should I leave? Should I stay? That's being triggered, okay? Most people kind of understand what the feeling of being triggered is, but do you really understand what you need to do to stop that? You don't want to blame somebody else automatically for a trigger, because they may be triggering you and they may not mean to. And it's not their responsibility for how you react to whatever's happening around you. And you have to keep that in mind as well. So if you find you're being triggered, the first thing that you want to do is discern whether or not you're in actual danger, or whether or not you're just being triggered and reacting to the trigger and actually really unable to see things for how they are currently happening. That's kind of how a trigger works. Something's happening, you sense danger, and so you react to it, but your brain is going to continue to move, and it's going to be very difficult for you to slow down and maybe even see what's really happening. You might start perceiving that something different is happening just because you've been triggered. So one of the really good things that you can do, if you realize that you keep being triggered, maybe by a place, a certain situation, or a person, especially a person, because, if you start getting triggered, you may react a certain way to a certain person, and that may not be their intention. And they may not even know you're triggered. They may not understand what's going on. They may be like, why are you so mad all of a sudden? What happened? What did I do? They don't even know. So if you don't understand your own triggers, then they're never going to understand. And you may be acting in, or reacting, I should say, to certain things they say or do. And that's actually not what they mean, which means you're changing the situation to something that may be negative without even realizing it. So if you find you're being triggered, what you want to do is evaluate the situation to find out if you're actually in danger, and then give yourself a timeout. Step away. Examine what's going on. Examine the feelings you have. Examine the thoughts that are going through your mind when you're being triggered, and then you take a timeout to sit back and look at it. If you realize that if you start to say something like, I felt this way because when I was a kid, then you're definitely being triggered. Or I did this because of that means you're being triggered. There's something that in your past that's causing you to be triggered. And what you need to do is start to work on healing from that. And then you can create this separate space for yourself to do that healing. And you can ask the other person, or you can reframe the situation so that you can learn more about your trigger and how to slow it down. And then I would also suggest, if you're highly triggered, or you're in a situation where you can't make heads or tails of what's going on anymore because you've been triggered so often, to seek counseling. So I hope this helps someone today. I hope this helps someone today. Sorry, my mouth is mushy, I guess. And I hope you all have a great weekend. See ya.